Hey friends, Kevin here, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender, here with this week's weekly real estate report. Now, the big news in real estate is a gigantic lawsuit that was just lost by National Association of Realtors and many very large real estate brokerages to the sum of $1.8 billion, that's billion with the B dollars, likely to go up to as high as $5 billion payable to home sellers. Stay tuned for that. But right now, let's look at the chart and see what's happening in real estate in our area this week. Okay, we have been watching the median list price drop, and it dropped yet again this week. So we got another downturn this week. Let's see, we were at 625 last week, basically 620 this week. So a $5,000 reduction this week. This is interesting here. So the median sold price that we have been watching stay relatively constant, even though the list price is coming down. What homes are selling for has been maintaining relatively constant. Well, the numbers came in last week. This number right here was up much higher. So numbers came in, this came down a little bit. So overall, last week we did have an increase in the median sales price, but this past week, it went down. So we went from 564 to the corrected number all the way down to 535 in 1 week. Now, this number could change or will change when all of the sales get reported. So I'll have that corrected number by next week. So this could be the start of a big dive, or it could just be a little outlier. We'll have to wait and see. And that'll be interesting to watch. All right, so inventory, it's kind of slowed down a little bit, the rise at least. I expect that to have turned around and start coming down seasonally by now. So it's still going up a little bit, which is a little unusual, but not terribly out of the question. So this could start our available homes. I expect to see that to start dropping. And our pending sales went up a little bit this week, not by much, about 50 or 60 homes. So that's all that is. I expect that to continue to drop down at least until January. So that's what's going on here. So let's talk about rates real quick. Rates, hey, good news. Rates went down a little bit. So last week we were at 7.76. This week we dropped to 7.5. Not a big drop. Well, actually, I don't know, quarter point. That's pretty good. But the most important thing is they didn't go back up. So 10-year Treasury yield went down a little bit. That's what kind of drove that down. So that's what's happening there. Let me talk a little bit more about this $1.8 billion lawsuit. There is anticipation that this could change the entire way that real estate works. And I'm going to go on a limb right now and say, no, it's not. Now, to get into the whole lawsuit, why it is, how it happened, would take about a good 10 minutes, and I don't think anybody wants to stick around for 10 minutes. So in a nutshell, this lawsuit basically stems around antitrust and collusion to keep commissions artificially high. The lawsuit basically says that sellers should not have to pay the buyers a commission. Well, this is just me predicting the way it's going to play out, is that I think you're just going to see more disclosures and more transparency that I've already implemented 20 years ago, explaining to my sellers how commissions work, why the seller does pay a commission, and the options to not pay a commission that are available to the seller. I think that these things weren't transparent. That is the crux of the lawsuit. I have always been transparent. I've always explained to my sellers that commissions are 100% negotiable. You can pay whatever you want to a buyer's agent. You don't have to pay him anything if you don't want to, but here's why you do want to. So I predict that that's exactly what's going to happen, is we're just going to see a bunch more disclosures happen, more transparency, and very little change in the industry. Why do I think this? Because I've been a mortgage officer for 20 some years. I went through the change when all of these new laws came in to make everything more transparent, to weed out what was happening. And honestly, yes, we went through some growing pains with that, but really we're right back where we started. The one thing that they wanted to get rid of in the mortgage industry was that the compensation to a loan officer be based on the rate. In other words, the higher the rate you pay, the more the loan officer would make. That never really went away. And in some cases, it got worse because in some situations, loan officers are tied to a fixed compensation and are unable to lower it for any reason, meaning even if they want to give you a better deal, they can't. So, the industry it is what it is. And the takeaway from that is you need to get educated when you're selling your house, when you're doing a mortgage, when you're buying a house, and the person that you're working with should be able to explain to you very clearly how people are paid and what your options are. Bottom line, everything is negotiable that you pay in one way or another, especially to real estate people. The commission that you pay, negotiable, 100%. The commission you pay out to buyers, negotiable. The rate, negotiable. It's all negotiable. Find somebody you trust who can explain to you exactly how it's negotiable. So that's my news for this week. That wasn't too bad, I think. Anyway, if you have any questions about that, give me a call. I'll be happy to talk to you in great detail about this lawsuit, what it means, what your options are. So that is it. My number's here at the end. Have a great weekend, and I will see you here next week. Take care. Bye.